Hello again. Happy Sunday. Hope everybody's having a nice day. It's a beautiful morning here. It's going to be hot today. I'm going to pot up a couple plants just for fun, some little stuff. But first, kind of wanted to show you, this is Mellow Cactus Azureus Phaerophyllus. And it's completely dead, as you can see. I believe it rotted. It like weighs absolutely nothing. And there's the stem right there, you can see. I think I overwatered it. I don't know why else it would have died, but I do hit this pot with the water when I'm, watering, because I've got some stuff over here that does like a lot of water. Oh, and check out this beautiful girl. She finally flowered. I've been waiting and waiting and waiting. I did get some pictures of it when the flowers were all looking their best, but I don't think I posted it. But yeah, I was pretty happy about that. So I'm going to pull this out, and I think I'm going to order another one from Planet Desert, because for one thing, I just really like to order stuff. I love getting plants in the mail. It's fun to order stuff and then to wait, and then it shows up. So what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to repot up this last piece of Euphorbia trigona in just one of these small terracotta pots. It'll be temporary, but I want to get it out of that ugly plastic pot and then just stick it over in the garden somewhere. And then I have these two millii, excuse me, Euphorbia millii. These are variegated. It's really pretty. I believe they have red flowers, and they're just getting toasted over behind the greenhouse because I don't water back there very often, because everything I have back there doesn't need water. It's got some nice new soft leaves, so they're doing good. They just need some more soil so they don't dry out so fast. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. Okay, so I got my little piece of screen for the bottom here, and I'm going to add a little bit of soil. There's quite a bit in the pot that it's in already, so I don't think I'm going to need much. I just want to kind of cover the bottom so that my screen stays put. Push that down. So these two little pieces, I don't think this one's going to survive. This one might actually root. I don't know. We'll see. Seems like it's hanging on. We'll put those off to the side. You know what? I'm going to grab a glove, because the euphorbias, they do have, basically they're like thorns, so they can be kind of sharp. So this isn't in here. I mean, it's just barely stuck in here. So it does have a decent root ball, and I'm going to try not to disturb it, but you can see all of this down in here. That's all the roots. So I'm just going to set that in there, and then I'm going to just pour some more of this soil in there. Pour a little bit in there, mix it around. Hopefully this will stay there for a second. And I'm going to add a little bit of, can you see that? Some Osmocote slow release fertilizer. Just throw a few of those in there. Mix them down in there, because this soil that I'm using, it's the cactus and succulent blend from what is it? EB Stone Organics. It doesn't have any fertilizer in it. And so I like to always, when I remember, to add some to it. And so that's all I'm going to be doing this. I am going to water this in really good. I'm not worried about it rotting or anything, because this soil is bone dry, and it will soak up most of the water. And it has a really large drainage hole at the bottom. Try and get it a little bit straighter. So the water will drain out really well, and it's got roots. So although it is hot, and you typically don't want to do too much watering when it's really hot, I'm going to water it in anyway. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just stick these back in here and you know, see what they do. It's up to them. If they want to grow, they'll grow. If they don't, you know what? I'm not gonna put that one in there because it looks like it's, yeah, it's just, oh yeah, it's just squishy down. Yeah, so that piece is dead. We'll get rid of that. So I'm gonna leave it like this, and then under here, I'll show you guys this in a minute, but Dave got me a really cool cart that has wheels. This is just some rocks. A friend of mine, she had all these samples that they got when they were working on their backyard, and so she had all these little sandwich baggies full of different kinds of rock and gravel, and she gave them all to me because she didn't need it for anything. And I've been using it little by little as top dressing for my plants, and it works great. This looks like it's all just different kind of pieces of lava. It's really lightweight. It will actually retain a little moisture, so that's good. But little by little, I'm getting rid of all these little bags she gave me. She gave me about, God, 15 bags and bottles of different rock. So that's cute. I like that. We'll put that out somewhere, and I'll water it in, and it won't stay in here for too long, you know, because it'll outgrow this pot pretty quickly. But for now, it's out of that ugly nursery pot, and I can go put it in the garden somewhere. So we'll be right back. Okay, so as not to bore you too much, I did put the screen in this pot, another little terracotta pot. Went and got a scoop of soil. This came out of a new bag, so it's actually nice and moist, so that's good. That makes it easy to water. And now I'm going to take these little variegated milii, pick some of these dead leaves off of it, and but you can see, hopefully you can see, I don't know how the light is out here, it looks pretty dark, but you can see the new red thorns are coming in and a nice new little leaf, so they're doing good. And I'm just gonna, got a fly right in my face. I'm just gonna pull them out of here, and they're probably just gonna crumble because they're pretty dry. And I'm just gonna carefully set it. Hopefully it won't fall apart too much. Stay. And then I got another one because I bought two, and you can see this one's doing really good. It's got some new growth here and here, and lots of new growth on the top here. So it's looking good. So I'll pull this one out. It's a little crooked, and this one's got some sharper thorns. And all my dirt's falling out. That's okay though, because I can always get more. This weighs like an ounce maybe. It is so light. Oh, and I do see a little weed there, and I want to get that out of there. Otherwise it will take over. So I'm just going to add by hand some more of this soil just to kind of hold these together. And then I can sort of pack it around and then straighten them out. So I want to get this guy standing up a little bit more, like so. And then this one, get some of that soil down underneath it. I'm going to hold it up. So these will look really cute when they fill in. And then I can pull them out of this pot and either stick them in the ground or put them in a bigger pot, you know, whatever. That's the nice thing about these kinds of plants, cactus, succulents and stuff. It doesn't matter what you do with them. If it doesn't work, just move them, you know, start again. And I do that a lot. And also, you know, you just want to change, so you can rearrange the pots you have on your porch. That's why I like a lot of stuff in pots, because I can just move them around. I think that's good, just like that. Try and push that down a little more, because it does, the soil does sink here in time. It kind of compacts, but that's probably enough. So now I want to get some top dressing. Let's see what else I got under here. I think I'm going to go with some jade, little tiny jade pebbles. I really like the way these look. And if you want to redo the pot, these pebbles are small. You can just mix them right down into the soil instead of, you know, trying to save the top dressing. Just mix them down in there and it makes your soil a little bit more airy and, you know, good for cactus and stuff. You don't have to worry about picking the big rocks or anything out. So there, how's that look? I think that looks cute. I like that. Those are gonna go out. I'll find a nice spot for them where they'll get some shade in the afternoon, because they are used to being under a big shade screen in the back, and they're still were getting a little bit burned. But I want them to get some morning sun. I'll soak them really good. Oh, you know what I did forget? I forgot to put some fertilizer in there with them. But I can always add a little liquid fertilizer. They are growing. This is their growing season, so you can see they are growing right now, all this new growth. So they probably wouldn't mind a little bit of fertilizer, but I do have liquid fertilizer, cactus juice that I occasionally add. And everybody that I've seen online that uses it always says to mix it half strength for cactus, so that's what I do. I know a lot of people use tomato fertilizer and they mix it, you know, just partial. And I've never tried that on these plants, but yeah, so I think that looks good. So I'm gonna go put that somewhere and I'll be right back. So here's where I put them. And I think they'll do really good right there. They'll get a lot of morning sun, and then they'll get shade later in the afternoon when it's hot. And I may cover them with a piece of shade screen. So I have this big pot of different kinds, and this little tiny one here is the same thing. And I actually had 2 of those in there last year, but they died over the winter. And I pulled one out because it was clearly dead, but this one I wasn't quite sure about, so I left it, and it's really coming back. It's very small, but it's grown back. And the rest of them are all doing really good. The big yellow one there, I planted that in there this year, where the other one I pulled out. But the rest of them are coming back. Everything's looking good out here. I've got, let's see over here. I've got a lot of my gymnocalyciums are starting to send out some more buds. My crested little guy that I got this one from Planet Desert not too long ago. It's got some leaves on it now. Got another flower about to open there, another one over here, and everything's doing good. Cat, get off of there. Whoa, I'm trying to walk and he's like, goes between my feet as I step. I'm gonna break my neck one of these days. So, and then over here, let's take a look and see what's going on. So that plant down there, right there in that pot, I'm going to pull those out and repot them because part of it kind of died a little bit. Nothing interesting here. I did move these 2 cactus here and here. Those were on the front porch, so they'll get in the shade pretty quickly, so I think they'll be okay there. And I rearranged over on the patio here, this little area. I moved a bunch of the plants. It was so crowded here I couldn't even get back to my Japanese maple tree back here, and it seems to be doing really good. It does. I do see some burn tips on it, but it is about not even 10 o'clock and you can see it's almost completely shaded. So I got some cuttings from a friend, and I just pulled one of these. It's an Echeveria painted something, I forget, but it does have roots on it now, so it's rooting in there. That's good. And then these 2 long, I don't know, I have a cat under my feet and he's holding on to me. These 2 long pieces that are hanging out of there, you can see down into there, they are growing like crazy. So they are rooted in here now, and those are the 2 cat, stop. Those are the 2 cuttings that I got when we went to the nursery in Vacaville. Oh, and here's where I put the trigona, so it'll be in the shade in just a little while, so it'll get some morning sun, but it shouldn't fry. I moved my little begonia, or no, not begonias, what do you call them? Bromeliads, which are actually starting to come back. You know, I wasn't sure if they were gonna make it, sorry about that, but I do see some color in there, so they're still alive. Cat, get out of there, oh my goodness. I've got, try to keep my shadow out of the way, this cutting, excuse me, that I got from the woman and I own. Cat, Stop it, Fezzik. He's got some new growth on the top, so I have to assume that it's rooted itself in there. So I'm happy about that. I did look at him. He will not stay out from under my feet. Go away. I did clear a lot of the plants off the porch here. I still have that Pachypodium there, and then, you know, stuff that likes shade I leave in here. I moved, oh my gosh, I moved this Stapelia. I got these long cuttings. He keeps catching the bottom of my tripod with his tail and tipping it sideways. I'm going to shorten the legs up because I'm just holding my tripod. Sorry about this. If I'm making you dizzy. If any of you have cats, you understand. So she gave me these long cuttings, and they were beautiful green, and they just got completely stressed and turned red, and they weren't doing great, but they are starting to get green again. I pulled them out. I noticed they were covered with mealybugs. They were in the greenhouse. So I scrubbed them really good, cleaned the roots really good, sprayed them down with alcohol. Can you stay down? Whoops, sorry if I'm making you dizzy. And I repotted them, brought them out here so they'll get some sun, but they'll get more fresh air. Hopefully they'll be okay. I moved this Echeveria over here. I repotted up this. This is an Agave Americana variegated. I don't know why I bought this. This thing is going to get massive, and I think I'm going to end up putting it over in there somewhere so it can just grow, because it will get huge. Look at this. He will not leave me alone. I do have, I believe, those are California poppies, because I had planted those in here, and I have them popping up all over now. Look at this Echeveria Sahara. This thing is over a foot across. Absolutely beautiful. It's got pups down underneath there. And look at this bloom. If I could keep the cat, can you hear him? Goofball. Look at the blooms on here. These are just so beautiful. I love the Sahara. And that color just, it's just so pretty blue. This needs to be, I don't know, I need to do something with this. I need to get the shade screen on it before it starts getting hot. But I did notice this morning when I was checking out, I think this is string of tear, stop, go. I think this is a string of teardrops, and it is rooted into the ground there. No, no, no. Right here, the bottom part is actually rooted into the ground. The cat is rubbing on my hand here. So that's kind of cool. So it's going to get a little bit of moisture from the ground, but I need to add some plants to that, and I should just really pull it apart and redo the whole thing. I had another one of the euphorbias I potted up. I put it back. It's this one here, and then this is doing really good. Two big legs on it. Everybody out here is doing good. I did stick a couple cactus on these shelves because I think they'll be okay. They've been on the front patio getting a lot of morning sun, so hopefully they don't burn. I moved my big Pringlei over here. This little Opuntia cutting I got from Planet Desert. Beautiful little orange blooms. Look how pretty that is. And another Sahara. This one's not as big as the other one because it got a little hit harder in the winter, but the blooms are just stunning. Crazy. I moved my little pink. Okay, so my camera overheated, so I figured I'll just finish with my phone here, which is easier anyway. Everything else is looking really good. I was checking this out yesterday. I need to pull this apart and redo it because it's just looking really scruffy. But look at the copper spoons. This pretty much died off over the winter, and I almost pulled it out, and it came back, and look how beautiful that color is. Love it. This is Echeveria elegans, also called the Mexican snowball. There's some lovely rose. These are doing really good. This little aloe here, got all kinds of little pups underneath. And get my shadow out of the way. Here's another one, not doing so good. I should pull that one out and stick it in the shady spot. It'd probably do better. And the sticks on fires, they're coming back. I got some leaves on there, and I got a big weed. Some Stapelia in here, right down in there, doing good. So I've just been throwing this shade screen right over the top of that to kind of protect them a little from the sun. And so the other echeveria, not as big, but just as beautiful. The sedum is just taken over this pot. Love it. I moved this, I bought a Hesperaloe at, where did I get it? I either got this at Lowe's. I think I got it at Lowe's. My Quiche Con's doing really good. I have another one of these. I don't know why I bought another one, because it pups like crazy. You just pop the pups off. But the one I bought out by my greenhouse, oh man, it just looks beautiful. It's amazing. Finally, I've noticed some leaves coming in. This is Petalanthus macrocarpus, and it just, whoa, back up. It just didn't do anything over the winter, and it wasn't dead, but there was no new growth or anything on it, and it's finally growing, so I'm happy. The aeoniums are doing okay. They're right in front of the vent. Cold air comes out of there, so I think it helps them to not get too fried. My Cameronii, man, these are just super happy. They've gone back green, which makes me sad, because if you stress them, they turn beautiful red. But I can take some pups off of those and, you know, repot them somewhere, plant them somewhere, give them away, sell them maybe. This stuff is all doing really good. Those aeoniums are looking good. I have that other Sahara back here, which looks amazing. And it's got some pups. It gets shade earlier. I was pretty happy. It's blooming. All the echeverias are pretty much blooming right now. And then look at this. This is funny. I just noticed last night. This is the happiest. It's called elephant bush. But look at this little millie under there. This hiding under there. And then behind here, I also planted an aloe distans. And it's buried under here. So I like, I mean, the Portulacaria is one of my favorites, but I like the Portulacaria afra variegata. It grows more flat where this grows sticking up, but I like the red stems on this. And this is like the happiest one I have. It is going crazy. And look at my poor little millie eyes hidden under there. But the blue elf is doing good. These poor aloe veras, but they're turning green because I have been watering them. So these look good. All of my sago palms have put new leaves. So this one got 1, 2, 3, 4 new ones. And I think that one there got 3 new ones. The little one over in the back has not put up new ones yet, but it should be anytime soon. And these were the 2 really sad echeverias that came from a friend of mine. He got them at the grocery store. But the middle growth looks really good. You know, it'll probably lose a lot of these leaves, but it's got a pup there that's looking good. The blooms are really pretty. And that's my Sahara. I bought that down south. And then this is the other one he got at the grocery store, which looks a lot better than the first one. But their blooms are just going crazy. I probably should have cut those blooms off so that the plant's not using energy for the flowers. Here is another one of my sago palms. So this one, okay, this one got 2. Is that a new leaf? No, that's an old one. Yeah, this one got 2 new leaves, and that one got 4. This Sahara is doing really good. It's sending up another bloom in the middle, so it's going to have a total of 4. But are the flowers on these just amazing? And this one does have quite a few pups. I was going to pull the dead leaves from under here, but I think they're kind of protecting these little pups that are down under there from the sun. And you can see there's quite a few of them. So I think I'll just leave it like that until the weather cools down. And over here is my agave perii. It's one of my favorite agaves with its 3, 1, 2, and 3 little pups. And it looks amazing. Such a beautiful plant. This agavoides is just going crazy. It is getting a little burned, but it's okay. It's pretty hardy. Another Cameronii, that one's still a little bit red, but it does have a lot of new pups down below. It's gonna really take off. And my desert dragon Mangavi looks good. So over here, where I planted, let me get out of the way, this cutting from Poots. So it already put off about 4 or 5 huge big blooms, and it does have more. 1, 2, 3 over here, and I believe 1 over on that side. But it's also got a pup grown up, so that'll be a new arm. So this is gonna be really beautiful. Not too long, it's gonna look like a nice, healthy, happy cactus. And then this, my Echinopsis that I brought out here that was in a pot, is doing really good. Those pups are still on there. It did lose the last of the flower blooms. They dropped off. I kind of thought they might, sadly, but that's okay. I did get about 12 blooms off of it when it was out back. So I'm just still kind of trying to keep this this cutting under here, that one, I'm trying to keep that still in the shade because it is a fresh cutting. My Copper Spoons is doing good. This is Pineapple Express Mangave. My Nepales, I need to trim a few pads off of that. Okay, I need to go around the other way. I got stuff everywhere. So here's this, yeah, this one, it's in the middle. I can see light, soft, brown, fuzzy little stem, so it's gonna put up some new leaves pretty soon. And Squealy Pig, hi mamas. Yeah, hi. So I have uncovered my barrel cactus. You know, I was looking at it the other day and I was thinking to myself, that thing is covered with spines. And those spines will offer protection from the sun. It's almost like it's in filtered shade. And it's been here for a while and it's been covered. So I think it's okay to uncover it now and just, you know, let it get stronger and, you know, do its thing. And this I did cover because it was looking like it was really dry, but look at that new growth in there. This is really happy. This is a Dickia. It did bloom. So, you know, I'm gonna leave that. I don't think I'll get seeds out of it, but because there's nothing over here to pollinate it with. Look at these weeds. Oops, I'm in front of the, yeah, look at all these weeds. I need to get out here because I got a few weeds popping up here and there. It's not bad, not too many, but a few. And then this Dickia looks really good. And then this is my Mangave Tooth Fairy. And it looks, you know, it's struggling a little bit there for a while, but it's got new growth there. It's opening up new leaves, so I think it's gonna be good. It's got a couple pups on it. This little guy looks good. I can see it did have some damage, you know, over on this side and down low. Not from here, it was like that when I bought it, but it was pretty cheap, so I didn't really care. But I have been keeping it covered. And over here, my Aluaudia procera looks good. And then I did cover up, hold on. I did cover up this, here's another Millii, Crown of Thorns. This one has the yellow flower, but it was getting a little bit burned. And it looks a lot better. The leaves have gone back green. They were kind of yellowing. So it was, here, hold on. You're gonna go for a little ride here. Woo! Sorry if I'm making you dizzy. So I keep that one covered and it's doing a lot better. And yeah, I think that's it. That's everything. I did finally prune my roses down, but it looks like I need to do them again. And I got the drip lines on them because I had to replace that drip line. So my roses are going crazy over there. But yeah, everything looks good. And I'm pretty happy with how the growth rate on the plants are. This poor Lucier, I think that's Kalanchoe, died back last year in the wintertime. Did not, you know, these are not frost hardy. And I thought it was almost dead, but it is looking great. And I don't cover it because I want it red like that. I love the color. So yeah, it's doing really good. Okay, so I think that's it. And I think I showed you everything. Oh, this is another one of the Opuntia cuttings I got from Planet Desert. That's the one I wasn't sure which direction to plant it. And so I sent him an email because I thought it would go the other way from the shape of it. And she said, no, flip it over. And look at that whole new big pad, because it was just, where am I? Ooh, it was just the bottom piece, and then this whole new pad grew. So I'm happy with that. Oh, here's my little rum runner. This is the one I bought, the new one, because my last one last year didn't survive the winter. Well, it survived, but it looked horrible. And I have it in a pot back by the greenhouse, and it gets, you know, it's in the shade. So it's really, it looks really good. I got all the dead leaves off, but it's like half this size because all the bottom leaves froze. But this one's doing really good. It's got quite a few pups. So I'm happy. So yeah, that's everything. And I hope you guys all have a great afternoon. And try and stay cool. It's going to be really hot here. I think it's going to be about 96 today. And then we've got some hundreds coming up. But Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I think it's going to be like 87, 88 right in there. So that'll be nice. Look at these Fred Ives. These Fred Ives are super happy. I love it. My poor little sunburst, you know, it's getting fried, but that happens in the summer. And they typically are dormant when it's hot. So it does have some babies down in there. I see a couple little sunburst pups, and they're in the shade, so they're not so burned. So that's good. But yeah, everything's looking good. And I'm pretty happy. Cool. So I think I'm going to go in the house and get a glass of water because I'm thirsty. And everybody, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. And I will see you next time.